Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my series specifically focused on option selling, and today we are going to review my trades which I have done on 24th April 2026. It was an Sensex expiry, and as you can see that this is the chart of it. And before we discuss this scenario, what are the trades I have taken, let's take a quick look on what are the rules which I follow. So I specifically focus only one time frame, that is the 5-minute time frame. I only consider price action, no indicators, external tools. I study each and every candles. As you can see that these are the candles, and I have numbered all the candles so that it will be very easy for me to describe and make you understand. So my risk to reward is 1:3 or 1:4. So if I am risking 10 to 15 or 20 rupees, my reward has to be 30 or 35 or more than that, depending on the market scenario. So I try to understand buying and selling pressure in context to candles. So as you can see, these are the candles, and each candle tells us a story, and some of the pressure is getting generated, on that analysis I try to manage the trades, or I trade. So I will be sharing you my contract notes. These are the contracts note. I have only traded one lot on that day, so I will describe on what price I have taken the trade and what was the reason for taking the trade. So this is what about buying and selling pressure. So this is my trade selection. As you can see that I try to avoid bad trades. I do not like to take unnecessary trades or low probability trades. Sometimes I do take those. I completely try to avoid counter trends. Counter trends means from 9 to 12 it's a counter trend. This is a big move, this is a counter trend, this is a move, and this can be considered a small counter trend. So I try to avoid this. We should completely avoid this counter trends. Avoiding predicting breakouts. Sometimes what happens is, like, before getting into a breakout, we try to assume that the market will eventually going to get breakout, but sometimes breakout happens, as on this day it happened on 2 o'clock. But as a trader, once the market comes to a point, then we go into get bias that the market will eventually break out, but that doesn't happen, and we get trapped. So we should never try to assume the breakout either on upside or the downside. Always wait for a confirmation. I always focus on the second leg after the first breakout. So I try to take the pullback. I pay close attention on the previous highs and previous lows for the breakout especially. So this is my setup for entry. If I only enter if there is a signal bar, and if I am selling PE, means if I am going long, then once the high of the signal bar get hits, I enter. And if I want to go short, means selling CE, once the low of the signal bar get hits, I take a short entry. So these are my rules. So let's get to the chart. So this is the chart for 24th April 2026. So as you can see that it opened not on a gap down, but there was a bar that happened. Okay, so I haven't, this has been not taken into this image, but as you can see there was a bar on 9:15 having a long wick on upside. So this is that 1 week. This is the first bar which happened. So my thought was that many times it happens that the most of the time market reverses. If you can see from here, you can see that market breakdown and it reverses up. Over here it didn't reverse back, and it keep falling. On this day, it gapped up and had a weak break follow through. This is a weak bull trend. On this day, after bar 1 formed, 2 formed and 3 formed, I was thinking of going for a pullback, but that didn't happen, and the market keep falling and falling and falling till bar 9. Okay, so the reason my setup says that go for a pullback and go for a second leg. So when the bar was forming, it was very difficult to judge, because any time the market can pull back, and there will be about 30 or 25 rupees, and which will show a red in your trade. So I couldn't trade any of this. So once there was a pullback, so on the low, for me this is an H low 1 sell setup, because this is the very first time the market tried to reverse back, and I was not going to go for low 2 setup, because of this move. And if low 2 had happened, I might have waited for low to happen, but my initial point was to go beyond low 1. So so for me, this bar 11 was a signal bar, and on bar 12, let's see at what time. So on 10:10, so this is my trade at 10 o'clock 10 minutes. I shorted one CE because I want to go short at 258.45 rupees. Okay, so on this is my signal bar and this is my entry bar. So on bar 12 I entered it, and after enter it, the market went up for a little bit, and my initial stop loss was, once the bar 12 get filled, I would have recovered my, or I have placed my stop loss, or I would have got out above this bar 12, but that didn't happen, and market went into downside. Okay, so around my target was at least 40 rupees. So at 10:23, let's see when was 10:23. Sorry 10:23. Okay, this this was the place around 10:23. On bar 18, bar 19, I got out of my trade with 40 rupees of 40 rupees in profit, and I earned around 2630 rupees. Okay, so now this is the only trade I have taken in this day, because previous days where I had made some losses, so I was very cautious and I do not wanted to lose my capital. Because of that, I didn't trade. Okay, but if I would have hold that trade, and I could have got a profit of around 80 or 90 rupees, but as you can see that it is very difficult for a trader to hold this much. But if I was in a good profit, I would have holded this position, but I do not want to lose my capital, due to which there was a fear in my on this day, and I did not hold that thing. And as you can see that I was talking about previous highs and previous lows. I will show you on this place. So as you can see that till 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, around this 1 o'clock, or you can say that at 2 o'clock, around 2 o'clock means around bar 59, the previous highs, this high could not broke this high, this high could not broke this high, this high could not broke this high, this high could not break this high, and around 2 o'clock it reversed back. So many of times people get into a condition that they wanted to judge a counter trend which is very profitable. So unless and until there is not a single break of previous high, we should not go in a reverse trend, or we should not try to reverse our entry, and we should always look for short opportunities with considering as a stop loss. So from here you can see that I have entered on this place, but I got out around this place. So you can consider this also as a setup with a stop loss of this, or this also, this is also a good place where you can enter for a short, hoping for this as the stop loss. And you can see that none of the above highs were broken till 2 o'clock. Even after 2 o'clock there was a trend, this was the trend that tried to break above the previous high, even, or you can say that this high, it broke on 2 o'clock 25 minutes. So never ever try to judge this moment, even after going into such a long journey. We should never try to judge this moment. So this is a typical trend where the bears are in such a position, they would never ever try the bulls to take control, and previous lows were always been get protected. In the initial stage, you can see that because of this move, you can judge that this is going to happen. This happens very rarely, but once this happens and we come to know about this scenario, holding a short position or entering a short position is recommended. And however, there is a very psychology that this might be the end of the trend, this might be the end of the trend. We can consider this as a double bottom, and there could be a reversal. This can be a good move, but it is just to trap the traders, or just to make a move, just to have a pullback, or this may be a profit taking, or bulls. All those people who have traded over here, they will try to book their profits, and there will be some traders which will have not taken the trade, and they will try to enter at such a position that they wanted to make a profit. So selling below this is much more easier. It will look like it is very tough, that anytime market will reverse and you will go into loss, but this is something that we need to consider, because these are going to be costlier trades, and going for a reversal looks like it is what you can say that lucrative. It will look very nice that I used to enter in such moment. But if you are not able to enter on these trades, there is nothing fine, but never try to guess the reversal. Okay, so this was my takeaway from this day. I made a profit. That was only from one trade, but I have learned some lessons, and I hope you too also have learned some lessons. So this was my day for 24th April 2026. See you in my next